Hey, it's Sari from Coaching Healthy Minds. I just want to answer a quick question that someone's asked me with a really nice little metaphor that I heard from Michael Neal last week on a coaching call that I was on listening to. So just going to wait a second, see if anyone's around. So I'm just going to share this post. See if anybody's around. Oh, there are. Say hi if you're there, so I can see who's there. I'm just sharing it into my group as well. Won't be a second. And then I'm going to answer this question. Okay. So, been asked recently, and this is a question I have been asked before as well, about why is it that when you are maybe feeling anxious or when you're in a bit of a spiral of anxious thinking, why it seems that you're kind of thinking about stuff in the past, why you're bringing up old thoughts that you kind of felt that you'd maybe dealt with, and then they just increase and hi Catherine, and then they kind of seem to make you feel worse. Okay, so I'm going to talk about that in a sec. Sorry, I'm just trying to do two things at once on my phone. Let's have a look. Am I looking? Did anybody watch the football yesterday? Do a little thumbs up if you did. Did you watch the football? There you go. So, okay. So, just to reiterate then, so when I've been asked about why is it that when I'm feeling anxious or I'm kind of in a little bit of a spiral, I'm thinking that all sorts of stuff from the past starts to come up. It's kind of like, you know, everything that you've ever thought about that's not been nice or that's been uncomfortable for you. It's kind of like at those times where we can feel a bit anxious. It's like, oh my word, all of it's coming back. It's all coming back. And there was Michael Neal, who is a 3 Principles coach, was doing a call the other day that I was on, and he used a metaphor that I thought was really lovely, that really explains what this is, because again, the tendency is that we can then try and go in and try overthinking all of this stuff. Okay, and that's what, you know, for anyone that's done any of my courses or programs, or anyone that watches the videos will know that it's not about how do we stop thinking. It's about how do we refrain from holding on to the thoughts that we have, because we can't stop the fact that we have thoughts, negative or positive. They come and they go. But how do we not hold on to them so that they don't become all consuming? And the metaphor or the analogy that Michael Neal used was, he was kind of saying, when your head is in a thought storm, okay, so when you've got a load of overthinking going on, which is then that thinking is then creating that anxious feeling. When you're doing that overthinking, your head is in a spin, okay? Your head is in a complete spin. Now just imagine you are stood in sand and you are spinning. That's going to kick up a load of dust. It's going to kick up a load of particles of sand. And that's what happens when you're in a thought storm in your head. It's like you're spinning in sand. So it's kicking up a whole load of dust. And so when your head's spinning and you're kind of in that thought storm, it's kicking up a load of extra thoughts from the past, from whatever. And so it's kind of like that same thing of you just spinning in sand. It's going to kick up the dust. Now, if you were spinning in sand, you wouldn't question that there was dust being kicked up, because it's just like, well, I'm spinning in sand. Of course, dust is being kicked up. And you wouldn't start analysing every particle of dust. Oh, well, why did that bit of dust come up there? And why that bit didn't come up? And why is it only when I spin that way there's more dust? And why when I spin that way is there less? And what if, you know, how do I stop? Or how do I do this? And how? Why? Kicking up more and more dust. It's like you're spinning even faster. And there's more dust kicked up. But actually, those thoughts that are coming back from the past, those thoughts that are coming from any which way in any angle, when your brain is in a spin, a thought storm of overthinking, it's honestly just as harmless as that sand being kicked up. And when you leave that sand well alone, it just settles back down pretty quickly, just settles. And it's the same with our thoughts. Once we start to settle and our mind isn't spinning so much, we're not kicking up all that dust. And those thoughts and those extra thoughts and those thoughts of the past and all of that sort of stuff, they will also settle just like that sand settles. But say you were spinning in that sand and you were analysing every particle and you were holding on to it and you were trying to see what was going on and work it all out, it's going to keep kicking up because you're going to spin faster. But if you just leave it well alone, like you would if dust was being kicked up when you were spinning in sand, you'd go, of course there's dust kicked up and spinning in sand. It's exactly the same in our heads. Of course there's loads of thoughts coming from every which way. Oh, I've got a fly on me. Where is it? Oh, of course there's thoughts coming from every which way. I'm in a thought storm. I'm spinning in sand and it's kicking dust everywhere. So that's all that's happening. And it will always settle. The dust will always settle, as will the thoughts. So just wanted to give you that little analogy so that if you find you are having lots of thoughts coming up, and why am I thinking this and why am I just, your head's in a spin, you're spinning in sand. And it will settle and it will stop because that's what happens. But you just need to leave it well alone. Don't wonder why. People ask me the question, why do I think of this when I do this? Or why do the thoughts from the past come up? We don't really even need to know. All we need to know is that the way human nature is and that the way that thoughts work is that it's going to settle. It's absolutely going to settle. And the more you leave it well alone, the quicker it will settle. So I just wanted to share that with you. If anyone's got any questions, give me a shout. And I can't actually see who's there. It doesn't show me unless somebody says hi. So I don't know who's there, but I will catch up with you all this week. Got some new members starting on various courses this week. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm sure that will conjure up lots of new questions starting tomorrow. And I can hopefully share some stuff with you. Okay, take care. Bye for now.